first day of NewGround Fellowship 2013-2014 as if it were yesterday. I texted my friend, rabbinical school colleague, and NewGround fellow Sarah the night before to ask an extremely vital and pressing question. What was she going to wear? Seriously, was this a professional fellowship that I should dress up for? What should my first impression be to this group? What is the proper attire one wears to a mosque? Okay, perhaps I'm revealing too much of my compulsive thought process, but the truth is, I only do this sort of what do I wear thing when I'm nervous, and I was really nervous. The question is, why? Participating in NewGround, a fellowship for young Jewslins or Moo-Jews that believes in relationships first is exactly what my soul had been craving and seeking for a while. Growing up in the insular world of Jewish day schools, summer camps, and now rabbinical school, I had limited exposure to other cultures and religions. In particular, I could count on my fingers the number of conversations I had knowingly had with Muslim people. I'm not proud of this fact, because I pride myself in being a person open to meeting and speaking with people of all backgrounds. Before NewGround, I knew who I was. I was a liberal, feminist, humanist, social justice seeker, open-minded to all faiths and cultures, except that I wasn't. It wasn't that I was not exactly those things, it's just that I had never ever truly embraced the opportunity to challenge my perception of myself and engage wholeheartedly with the other. I lived in my cozy box and was comfortable. I felt so nervous that night because I knew that very soon I would no longer comfortably fit into the box that I created for myself, and that perhaps I would discover that I was just not the person, the true progressive I prided myself in being. NewGround has been one of the more challenging experiences of my life, and I am forever grateful. In addition to the treasure of friendship I gained this year, and I truly mean that, NewGround challenged me to shift my thinking and begin to dismantle the box that I so described earlier. Today, I comfortably live in the gray zone. I accept that there are stereotypes that we all harbor, preconceived notions that are false, and ideas that we need to persistently challenge through intense, intentional conversation with people who experience the world differently. I was ambivalent in the beginning of the fellowship, thinking that I would for sure utilize my 2 allotted absences and then some. But I soon learned that I couldn't. I just couldn't. NewGround became part of the rhythm of life. Even after a long day of school, I needed to be there, to cultivate a voice and to learn how to listen. The time was precious. Many people ask me what I love about NewGround. Besides for the obvious fact that a grandchild of Holocaust survivors and a person from Syria can become dear friends, which is quite unique, here is what it is. I love that the group is honest, but rather this honesty being a source of division, it brings us closer. We don't all like one another all the time. We disagree strongly and passionately. We flip-flop our ideas, and we do so with the best intentions and without holding back, and that has made us better friends. For example, during our retreat on Israel-Palestine, yes, imagine the entire weekend dedicated to talking about the Israel-Palestine political landscape, I observed quickly that our intense conversations, rooted in a place of deep emotion and personal narrative and experience. Every single person had her or his reason to feel what she or he felt. And we voiced these feelings honestly. It got heated. But then, in an instant, we were quickly able to turn the mood and play a game of charades, laughing immensely. NewGround succeeded in creating a place where everyone could be seen and heard, respected for wherever he or she is, and thus loved more authentically and deeply by the community. We learned to become a group of strong-minded individuals, to hold back and to push in, to be authentically ourselves, to listen effectively, to speak from the eye, to be vulnerable, while still maintaining love. Honestly, if I could have one wish, it would be that the world would be just as dynamic, beautiful, frustrating, emotional, intense, and intentional as NewGround is. The world feels broken right now. And the first people that I need to talk to are my brothers and sisters of NewGround. We need each other, not just for empathy and for intentional dialogue, but to remind one another of each other's fragility and humanity, to remind the other of one's loved ones in Palestine or in Israel, to remind one another, and therefore in some way the world, that it is possible to piece the shattered pieces back together, and even if we can't, that we will certainly try and try very hard. There is not one perfect outfit to be worn in NewGround. This is indeed what gives me hope. Thank you.